Hey everybody, Greg here. I wanted to do a video on how I draw these things, these ergonomic designs that I've got. So here's an example of a guitar I was going to use as a scale length for what I call the absolutes of the design, those things that really can't change. So this type of guitar, the measurement from the bridge saddle to the 12th fret is 12 and 3/8. So, and I've got some measurements to each pickup. So we're going to go from there and kind of show you what I do. And I'll try not to get myself in the way while I draw. So, like always, I like to start out with a 0 line. So let's go ahead and get that going. So here's my 0 line that we're going to work from, and I'm going to just pick a spot for the sake of doing this to create the point that the neck angle comes off of at the D saddle. So that point on your 0 line is the D saddle. Okay, so 40 degrees off this line. Well, I'm sorry, 35. Let's do 35. Because that's what everything I've done so far is based on. So there is our 35-degree line for the angle of the neck. So now, given that, I'm going to base the measurements off of the span that from my top of leg to top of leg, which is like 17 inches. Yours would vary, of course, because you're going to design this. If you're going to make one, you'll design it to fit your leg span. So the next thing I would do is measure from the D saddle to get my absolutes as far as that goes, which is to the first pickup, it's 1.5 inches from the D saddle. So there's where the first pickup starts, and that goes to 2 7/8. So there's our first pickup. Second pickup starts at 5 and goes to 6 3/8, roughly there. And the end of the neck is at 6.5 inches on that guitar. And then finally the 12th fret is 12 3/8 inches from here. So roughly here is the 12th fret. So here's your 12th fret. Here's the end of neck. Here's pickup number 2. Pickup number 1. And here's your bridge. Okay. So those are our basic absolutes to draw around, because these, in essence, don't change. They have to remain constant. And the neck length would vary depending on what kind of scale length your neck is that you're going to use. So next thing is, now that you know where your D saddle is and where your bridge, whatever space, the footprint of the bridge is going to dictate how close you can cut where your leg would be. And you'd want to, do a cardboard cutout to fit your leg perfectly, your right leg, the picking hand leg if you're right-handed. And that 17-inch span, let's just put that on here right now. Well, first, let me just kind of make a general arch to show where your leg might be. Okay? And this is something that you would decide. The arch, how you would want it to start and dive, that's all arbitrary. That's all up to you. So, considering that to be one of my contact points, I'm going to measure 17 inches, and that's my other contact point. So now we've got where our legs would be, sitting down. At that point, you could draw your guitar any way you want to. Let me go ahead and put the neck on here, kind of for a reference. So there's the neck of the guitar. I like a cutaway, of course. So just kind of winging it. There's your lower bout. Cutaway. This could extend, of course, further out. At this point, you would draw any kind of line you wanted. I'm going to assume, let me start back over here. I'm going to assume you're going to have some controls. So here's where you might put your volume. Here's where you might put a selector switch. I like to put a selector switch actually more like right here. It's very convenient if you're playing a lead in the neck position, and you can just kind of drop your hand down and flip your switch to go back to the bridge position for the next thing you want to do. It's very convenient to have it right in this area somewhere, your selector switch. So there's your controls. So making another arch from here, from where your other leg is, get the basic shape of a design. It doesn't have to be a curve like that. It could be a straight line, whatever you wanted. I'm going to make this a little bit more dramatic. So anyway, there's that line. One thing I have found that if you go too high up in here, like say you wanted to make an arch like that, to be like a design of a famous guitar of the 70s, that's not very convenient as far as access to where you want your picking hand to be. What I've found is I like to have it pretty close, so it's very convenient in this area to just reach across as you're playing. So I make this cut fairly close. Like I do this, I kind of match them. You can see this thing taking shape as we go. I would bring this up just for support, and of course bring this up, and you can end that any way you wanted to. And there's your basic design that I came up with. Super ergonomic, based on just the dynamics of your body. So these are arbitrary. All these lines, they're completely up to your discretion. These are absolutes. They won't change based on the neck scale length that you're going to use. That's basically it. So hope this helps some folks. Have fun. Thanks a lot for listening, and have a good day.